What's up, guys, and welcome back. And today we're talking about the new content that just dropped. We're talking Wonder Woman, the event itself, my initial thoughts, all the good stuff. So let's jump into it. All right, so let's just start with the idea itself. Wonder Woman going from legendary to mythic. Do I like it? Of course I do. In this game, there's a few legendaries that are actually worth keeping or investing in, unless you're free to play, of course. There's a few more if you're free to play. But when it comes to the game, once you get your mythics or your mythic pluses from the bleed, you just automatically shift your focus over there. So I do like this idea of being able to take some of these legendaries, eventually, hopefully, crossing the fingers, everybody enjoys the event, and we'll get this with more characters. And if that's the case, maybe they'll all be able to go to mythic at some point. But overall, starting with Wonder Woman made the most sense. Really didn't make sense why she wasn't a mythic, but I get it. When they started the game, you've got to have different characters at different levels. So overall, bringing her up to mythic, I think is a great idea. And so let's talk about how they've did it. Within the game, they've added a brand new event. It's called the Trial of Olympus. This event, it's pretty cool. It's an open world event. You get to walk around, do some quests. It does feel different than what we've been doing. Again, a lot of the main story, you just kind of click, click, click. You don't really bother with what's going on. And this style kind of felt like a little bit of an RPG. Again, it's not fully open world. You're still in your own little area, but you do get to kind of wander around, you know, check in the darkness to find some chests, things like that. So I do like what they're rolling out with. We'll see what this looks like, you know, over time, especially when we get more to the event and potentially new events. But I do like this style. It's something different. It adds a little bit of freshness to the game as far as you're playing. And again, I like that you're able to also get rewards while you're doing the different event mini missions throughout. Now, the one thing that everybody is going to complain about, I get it, it's day one. You can't complete this whole thing in one day. They've definitely added stops in here. So as you go through your different quests, you're going to get to a point where you've beaten the stuff you need to beat, and then you need to unlock this portal, or I guess technically shut the portal. And when that happens, you're going to be in a 24-hour period where you have to wait. So I'd recommend, if you haven't already done it, go ahead and jump in, do the missions, get that timer going, because it's going to take 24 hours before you can get to the next part of this event. And this is going to get you to 39% complete in this event, which means this is going to happen at least one more time, potentially two more times throughout the process with some wait times. So just be prepared for that. Now, one of the upsides is you can complete this, or you can start doing this event even if your Wonder Woman isn't maxed. Now, you do need to have your war room up to level 25 in order to get in here. But if you've been playing and things like that, this is not a problem to get in there. And you will be getting a lot of Wonder Woman shards. So I believe I got 25 just in the first part of this mission, as well as you're going to get 90 when you complete this mission. So even if you're free to play, this is going to help a whole lot. Able to get a bunch of stars on Wonder Woman, give you a bunch of shards, getting closer and closer to that 5 red stars that you're going to need in order to upgrade her. Now, one of the other things that's come up is, well, how can we get shards? Again, if you're free to play, this is very difficult. You know, opening up your mother boxes, there's not really a lot of selector shards when it comes to legendary characters. There are for mythic, but not necessarily for legendary. So they have added her shards to the meta brawl area. If you're one of those people that's 100% free to play, I would recommend, especially if you have a legendary Wonder Woman, to continue to use those shards on her. So I don't know if you've been spending meta brawl tokens. I get it. Realistically, there's not much good stuff in there. Early on, I wasted some tokens on some gear until I realized, like, you get way better gear if you just be patient. So those are one of those things I would recommend with Meta Brawl tokens. Use on your Wonder Woman, especially if you're free to play. Now, if you're a big spender, I would hold those, because what's going to happen is when you can upgrade Wonder Woman, those legendary shards are going to turn into mythic shards. So if you're close to upgrading your Wonder Woman, you open a lot of boxes, you open a lot of anvils through the bleed, things like that, you will get a 5-star Wonder Woman with time. So just hold them, wait till she upgrades, then you can use them on the mythic shards. But if you're free to play, go ahead, start using those shards on your Wonder Woman, working her way up to 5 red, because again, You're not going to get as many opens as someone who's spending, getting a whole bunch of mother boxes plus the anvils. So speaking of legendary and mythic Wonder Woman, this is pretty huge. It's been very, I guess, confusing of what it means on, upgrading Wonder Woman prior to this coming out. Does it mean you lose stars or anything like that? And technically you don't lose stars like they said, but you kind of do lose stars. So let's talk about that a little bit. You don't lose any kind of stars when it comes to your legendary Wonder Woman. As you start this event, she is where she is. So if you've got her maxed, you've got her maxed. If not, you're working towards there. But when you upgrade her from legendary to mythic, she is going to go down in stars. She's going to go back down to 5 blue stars. And that means you're going to have to continue to upgrade her back up to red stars. But there's a caveat here. Because she's going to mythic and all of her stats and all of her stuff are better, realistically, you're not losing anything. We've looked at all the skills. All the skills are at the exact same level as 5 red star legendary as they're going to be this 5 blue star mythic, which actually means she's going to get a ton better. She's already an A character, A level character on the tier list. At least in my opinion, she's really good as a tank. And so if you imagine the fact that now she's got to go through purple, gold, and red stars when she gets to mythic, she could very well be an S tier character pretty easily once she gets through all this. So kind of keep that in mind. The only caveat when it comes to skills and the ones that have changed is going to be her global goes from being a flat stat like all the other legendaries to a percentage. Again, going to be a pretty big upgrade. All in all, I think this is a really great, move for them and how they handle the legendaries. And again, I know people are going to be so upset that you're losing stars, but I wanted to point that out. Your character's not getting worse, even though technically it looks like it because you go from red to blue. But overall, your character is staying the exact same as it goes up and has a huge room for improvement. So what do I think overall? Again, I've kind of said it in here. I'm excited about this event. I think they did very well with how they handled this. There's a lot of different ways they could go about this. And realistically, I think this is one of the best ways to do it. Give us an event where we get a whole bunch of shards where we can get her to those 5-star, red legendary to get her up to mythic. Again, I think there's a lot of stuff in here for free to play, a lot of stuff in here for even pay to play. The only thing that I think we're missing right now is hopefully in the near future, she'll come to the daily deals because I do have a concern where we upgrade our Wonder Woman at some point to mythic and then we hit a brick wall on how to really get her past that. Now, I mentioned before in the brawl or meta brawl area, her shards are going to change into the mythic shards, but coming from someone who's been using all my meta brawl on Raven for a long time, you get like 1 shard a week, which really, I'm going to spend it, I'm going to use it, but it isn't really moving the needle overall with Raven. So I really hope that this isn't just the only thing they're going to do for her, because again, once she hits those, mythic levels, everybody's going to try to max her, especially if you're going Justice League Dark or even Justice League. She has both tags. So just kind of keep that in mind. I really hope, my suggestion is she'll come to the daily deals. That way, you can shift into buying those if you're a spender. If you're free to play, it's not really going to affect you much, but she will be with the anvils. She will be in the mother boxes as a mythic. So just like all your other mythics, you will eventually be able to get those stars. I just know a lot of my other mythics I just kind of have in there. They're barely, 5 or 6 stars at this point into the first couple colors. Most are either 5 white stars or they're just in their blue. So I can imagine trying to get her without a daily deal back up to the 5 red stars is going to take a little bit of time. If you guys like this content, make sure to keep your eyes open, because next week, so I believe it's exactly 1 week from today, that night we're going to be going live on stream. We've got over 2,300 anvils to spend on Constantine because he's coming to the game. The plan is to get him up to 3 red stars. From there, we're going to take everything else, dump it over into our Zatanna to try to get this Justice League team max as much as it can. And then when this Zatanna's banner goes away, we'll focus those last 2 weeks to get our Constantine up to 5 red stars. That way I can get Zatanna as high as I possibly can with her last 2 weeks. And in the meantime, hopefully our Wonder Woman is in Mythic before this starts, so that maybe we can get a whole bunch of stars on her from opening all these anvils. So that's the plan. If you want to join us, we will be going live next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern on the channel, as well as the Twitch. All those links will be in the description. Right here on the channel, we'll be going live with that. So I'm super, super excited about that. If you want to hang out, check it out and see it, just check back in. And if you haven't already done it, hit the sub button so you're alerted when we go live. Hit that follow button, all the good stuff. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this new Wonder Woman event. And we'll have a follow-up video once we complete it on our thoughts of the overall event. But as of right now, based on day one of it, I like it. I'm happy with it. Can't wait to see some of the other characters get the same treatment. So, till next time, guys, y'all take it easy.